Morning, everyone. Is it still morning? I'm still forgetting what time it is, but happy Friday. At least I know what day it is, I think. But it's been a really long time since I've done a live in the actual page. So I just wanted to pop on and say hello. Because I do lots of lives in my tribe group, which you'll find at the top of your Facebook page. You can join the group and I'm doing all sorts on there. Hi Vicky, lovely, welcome. So I'm jumping on today to talk to you a little bit about fatigue. Those of you that know me have had adrenal fatigue in the past, and it's definitely raised its head a couple of times over this lockdown period. And those of you that are in my group are aware that I've kind of shifted my energy recently and over the Wi-Fi setting here for Hi Helen, lovely. So those of you that know me, I've overcome adrenal fatigue, but it did take a really long time. But as I say, it's kind of raised itself recently. One, because I've been overdoing things and maybe not listening to the signals of my body. Two, because of bad food, lack of exercise and everything else. Hi Claire, I have got so much to share with you about fatigue and adrenal fatigue, and I think that there's two different kind of levels of exhaustion versus chronic fatigue. But what I wanted to do this morning was show you my morning ritual so that you can get some ideas of how to shift what's going on in your body, what's going on in your mind without having to do too much. So this is it's called Sole. I don't know if you know it. So it's Himalayan rock salt in water, and as you can see, it's all pink and there's still crystals at the bottom. So this means that the water's really salty here. And the first thing I do in the morning is I have I don't always have a pint, sometimes it's half a pint of lemon water with half a teaspoon or so of Sole. So you're getting like 80 plus minerals, trace minerals and so on from this, and also waking up from the lemon and so many other factors which I'll tell you about later when I talk more about adrenal fatigue. But I have a pint of that, and when I have the lemon in there, I like squeeze like at least half a lemon, maybe two, sometimes a bit of lime, and that's what I do, and that really sets me up for the day. So if you've got adrenal fatigue, chances are you are also craving salt. So that's one of the signs and symptoms. What I do then is I just let that settle, I potter around for a little bit, and then I have a smoothie. But I don't have a smoothie that's filled with fruit, which is sugar that will go straight into your bloodstream and often can encourage weight gain. What I do is I definitely put some protein in. There's loads of different proteins out there. This is the one that I'm trying at the moment. It's a pea protein, it's organic. Yes, get it out, Helen. Get your Himalayan rock salt out. There's loads of different ones. This is really reasonably priced and it's a pretty big bag and you only need a tiny bit. Okay, so I tend to have 2 of these a day, especially when I'm really fatigued. I can't believe what difference I'm feeling after just a few days because, you know, when you go back to that place in your head, whether it's mentally or whether it's physically in your body, you do worry, don't you, that you're going to go back. But you'll never go back because you know too much, right? So I had to quickly make a decision to get back on track. So I have a little scoop of that. This has just come through. Again, you can get all sorts of things like this, but I've got a super green one. And again, you just need a teaspoon. How amazing is that? So I have a little teaspoon, and then I don't put all that, like I say, I don't put all the juice in, but I sometimes put an avocado in, a little spoonful of chia seeds. Now you don't have to put all of these things in, it's just extra protein. Flax seeds, extra protein. Okay. And those 2 alone is probably enough. And then what I do is I fill it up with almond milk and I put a little bit of honey in so it actually tastes nice. And it does, it's fine. Sometimes I put a spoonful of peanut butter as well. Now, if you are struggling with your foods, if you've been eating really crappy stuff as well, then I'd also recommend a little bit of fibre. So this is also a prebiotic. So this one, it's really good for IBS, it's like abdominal pain, and it's a prebiotic. So prebiotics are feeding the good gut bacteria. So when you've got your bacteria that is out of balance, then you often crave all those bad foods like flour, carbs, sugar, coffee, chocolate, and it goes round and round like that. speaking of chocolate, a lot of the time is because you're actually craving the magnesium that's in the chocolate. So often I'll have a magnesium tablet before bed, and this is really good for when you're menstruating as well, even up till that point. I have tried almond butter. I completely forgot about that, Helen. Thank you. It's funny what you forget, you know, because you fall off the wagon and you just start eating all this random stuff and you fall down that spiral. And then when you get back on it, you're like, gosh, there's all this amazing stuff that I've forgotten to take. And it's just doing it step by step. You don't have to just, you know, do it extreme. So another prebiotic. So when I was really, really ill, when my guts were just all over the place and I was just getting ill and ill, like for 3 months in a row, and my immune system was completely shot. I was Googling for the best prebiotic. So I found Jerusalem artichoke, and this has lasted me for ages. I put a spoonful of this in that as well. So you want the prebiotics and the probiotics, and then what happens is those gut cells that have the brain cells in there, it's proven that they've got the brain cells. Instead of them craving, you have to starve the gut brain cells of craving sugar and this kind of thing. You have to give it a good enough time for the bad bacteria to die off. Got a long list of things to look up now. Yeah. Oh, Helen, the book by Dr. Michael Mosley, The Clever Gut Diet, is amazing. Now, what I want to say is that when you are completely fatigued, trust me, you have not got the energy to even read a book, to even think about what to order. When I was at my worst, I couldn't even order online food shopping. Never mind pack it away or think of a recipe or chop carrots up. I just couldn't do it. So what I'm aiming to do is put something together for you that just helps you to go, I am knackered right now and I can't even chop a carrot, for example. How to prepare things like that so that you don't have to do anything. Really quick lists of what not to do, what to do, that kind of thing. So I can get you over that adrenal fatigue quicker. So I'll be putting a bundle together at some point. Now, a lot of this is linked to hormones, and that's cortisol and the stress hormone. So I'm always talking about that. It's not just the mind stuff that I'm talking about, it's the body as well. So when you've got too much cortisol, you're feeling more anxious, you're also craving more sugar. And that's why things like relaxation actually help you to stay slim. Not that this is what it's all about, because for me, that is absolutely secondary. See you later, Helen, lovely. When I was completely fatigued, I had to accept that I couldn't really exercise. I had to accept that I was going to be a little bit fat for a while, right? It's secondary for me. What's most important is that I wake up, I feel refreshed, I feel energized, I'm not snapping at my little girl, I've got energy to talk to people. That is the most important for me. So if you've got too much cortisol, one of the best herbs, it's an adaptogen herb, is ashwagandha. Okay, it doesn't taste that nice, so you want to just hide it in a smoothie or something. Ashwagandha powder. What it does is, and this is what adaptogens do, is they actually adapt to your own body's cortisol levels. How crazy is that? It's amazing. Hi Emma, lovely. So if you've got too much cortisol, or if you've not got enough get up and go, or your cortisol's the wrong way around, which means that you're really hyper in the middle of the night, or you can't get sleepy until 1 o'clock, but you're drained up until 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, then your cortisol is a little bit out. Now, I've done a lot with learning about the body, the anatomy, physiology and pathology. I've done a lot with herbs, but a lot of the time I also collaborate with my friend and colleague, Gabby, who is a naturopathic doctor, and she's absolutely amazing. And we're putting something together for this. But if you do find that insomnia is one of your issues, remember I've got the Insomnia Bundle Workshop. So it's 2 workshops, it's 3 sleepy meditations, it's an ebook, and there's loads more. I can't even think from the top of my head. But it's all about the mind, body and soul. It's not just one thing on its own. So that is my routine. I get up, I have that drink with the lemon and the sole. I leave it a bit of time and I have that smoothie without any fruit. Sometimes a banana, sometimes an avocado if I want to mix it up a bit. I'll leave it a little bit and then I have breakfast. Yeah, you know what? You can eat more if you want. The thing is, when you add more protein into your diet, you don't get as hungry anyway. Okay, so much more to say on this, and I'll come back to it another time. And then I'll have a nice lunch and it won't be a craving of sweets, it won't be a craving of coffee, and I'm buzzing off a natural energy. So join the group, come into the Inspire Rewires tribe. We've got all sorts of free talks from different experts around these kind of subjects. Free yoga and meditation Thursday night. This Thursday it's 8 till 8:40 p.m. with meditation. All sorts coming up. Where's the best place to get ashwagandha from? Well, I ordered this from Amazon. Obviously, if you go to your local food shop, then that is the most preferred way. They will probably have it, but they might not. So this is one of the brands that I've ordered from. If you can see there, it says Seven Hills. I'm not sure if that's the wrong way around that you're seeing it, but it says Seven Hills Whole Foods ashwagandha. Do a bit of a Google as well about adaptogens in general, because there's different ones for different types of people. So interesting. When I did my Herbs for Health course, it's just fascinating. It's all there in nature. You know, you can pick nettles, you can pick that sticky plant, and you can brew up a tea, and it's got so many nutrients in it, you know. So just start step by step. As always, don't overwhelm yourself with the options. If you want to make a massive change, then you want to go for a little bit of protein and the greens, okay? And then you'll get the energy to start cooking better for yourself. So don't beat yourself up, just make a start. If all you can do is just chop one carrot and you don't even peel it, munch on that, you're getting the good stuff in. Love all this power of nature. And what was it we were saying the other day? It's about the clouds as well. It's about the lessons from nature. It's if you just sit and ponder on something for long enough in nature, it will give you the answer that you're looking for. That's why I always say, come back to yourself. Silence is loaded with answers. So we have the 10-day reset coming up on the 8th of August. That's going deeper with yoga this time. The last 10-day reset was about mindset and perspective change, a little bit more NLP based, neuro-linguistic programming. So if you missed the introduction to the NLP talk, it's in the group, okay? So you can join the group and you'll be able to catch all those catch-ups and replays in there. And yeah, I just felt really compelled to share this with you today, because as I woke up feeling much more healthier and vibrant and started my routine, and I thought, this is what it is. It's about self-care. It's about ritual. And every time I put a little bit of this in and a little bit of that in, I thought, this is going to make me feel like this and this is going to make me feel like that. And that makes me more mindful when I'm choosing other foods. When I choose then a dessert, because I'm not even craving that anymore, I go, but this is going to make me feel like this. I'm thinking in my head what it's doing to the stomach, what it's doing to the guts and those brain cells. So once you get that higher understanding of what's going on in your body and how it all connects to you, then it becomes less about losing weight and more about what you want to be, okay, and how you want to turn up in the world. Emma, you're out for a walk at the moment. Wonderful. I'm also just about to go for a walk with my mum, which is fantastic, and my little girl. So I will see you all soon, hopefully over in the group where there's lots more talks like this, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.